Star Wars Rebels is back. This episode starts off with a rescue mission led by Ezra. He is older now and has much more experience to be able to be a leader on these missions. But while on this first mission in the episode, it goes well enough for Ezra to take on the next one. Now we see that he is struggling a bit with his emotions because he has secretly kept the Sith holocron from the finale and has been learning some new tricks and information about the Force that he still hasn't told anyone about. He is more angry now and has a constant seeking of more power, something that he has had before but now seems to be amplified now that he spent so much time with the holocron. Kanan has spent a lot of time alone and away from the group. This has affected the group and Ezra in not so positive manner, as he still has fear in himself from his last encounter from the finale. Ezra leads them to the next mission and it continues to fumble as he disobeys orders, thinking he can accomplish more than what he was needed to do. Ultimately, in the end, they do get the ships that they wanted, but they did come back with the cost of recklessness from Ezra. He realizes that he's wrong to think the way he has, and Kanan learns to accept his past failures and become stronger in the Force. We still don't know what exactly is in that Sith holocron. We know someone is talking to Ezra, but we still don't know exactly what's inside and who is inside, really. And I think that's going to come back later in a future episode, but right now, the way they handled it wasn't too bad. This episode really did also establish that there are other Force users out there. Kanan meets another one, and he also ultimately kind of helps Kanan realize why he's a Jedi Knight. And while it's interesting to see other creatures be able to use the Force, I do want to see what kind of contribution these other Force users can bring into the series and overall the universe. We know that Jedi and Sith aren't the only Force users, but I want to see more about what these other Force users who aren't a part of them can do. And he did also mention a term that talks about being in between the dark side and the light side, and I almost kind of wonder if Ahsoka is going to go that direction as well, or even Ezra for that matter. Overall, I think this is a solid beginning to a new season, and it really explored Kanan and Ezra in a way that I think thickens them as characters. They now have struggles to move on from that can come back and haunt them in the future, but this also strengthens them. The one aspect I'm still not so sure about is the addition of Thrawn in the series. I think it's a great character to bring into the show, but I don't think they're going to use him to his full advantage, especially if he's only the villain of the season and doesn't return in the future. So those are my thoughts on this first episode of season 3 of Rebels. What do you guys think of this episode, and what do you want to see this season? What do you think is going to happen? Leave your comments down below and see you on the next video.